You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. I am Tom Downey, and we are kind of caught in the middle ground as it relates to all the different channels here at Chat Sports. We're ahead of ones like the Ravens and the Browns, etc., the Vikings and Titans. We're also behind the next tier, including the Lions. The Lions is the next closest Chat Sports YouTube channel that we are behind. And they're the Lions. They're not even good at football. Haven't been good at football in ever. So let's catch up to them in subscribers. A long way to go. It's a long-term goal, but you can help us get there by subscribing. Plus, you get free Steelers videos every single day once you do subscribe. You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk, and we're going to begin today's video with an interesting note on head coach Mike Tomlin. Is he on the hot seat? Well, here's what Gerry Dulac said, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reporter. I actually don't know how to pronounce the first name, so I'm just going to go with it because I think this is a crazy take, so he deserves it. He said Tomlin's seat should be at least a little warm, in large part due to the lack of playoff success in recent years. Now, I think I speak for most Steelers fans, not all, when I say Mike Tomlin is one of the best head coaches in the entire NFL. The exact quote from Mr. Dulac was, after the past 3 playoff performances, it should be warm, or at least lukewarm. I don't agree with that. I know that the recent playoff success has not been great in Pittsburgh. Blown out by KC, as we all saw coming. A tough loss against the Browns, that one's not fun. Missed the playoffs in 2019 and 2018, and then that loss against Jacksonville, that one hurt a little bit given the Jags. They're not even good at football. But this still falls under the slander, or libel, I guess, in the first case, of Mike Tomlin. He's an awesome head coach. The job that Tomlin has done in his NFL career as the Steelers head coach is some of the best head coaching we've seen of anyone not named Bill Belichick. Look at what he's done in his 15-year career. Seems like he's been there for less than 15 years, right? Kind of crazy. 9-7-1, makes the wild card. 12-4, wild card. Misses the playoffs, but also goes 8-8, 9-6-1. Didn't make the playoffs in 2018. It was brutal luck. 2017, they go 13-3. Yes, they lost the divisional round, but that should count as a playoff win because they were so good in the regular season, they didn't have to play some garbage wild card team that year. 2016, 11-5. They made it all the way to the conference championship game. 10-6, divisional round. 2014, 11-5, wild card. 2 bad years. Bad by Tomlin's standard. Just 8-8. Wild card in 2011, Super Bowl loss in 2010, Super Bowl win in 2008, wild card and no playoffs mixed in there. The sustained consistency and success that Mike Tomlin has led Pittsburgh to is absolutely incredible. 15 years and not a single losing season is unbelievable. And I think in particular in recent years, Tomlin is getting more out of less when it comes to his roster. The team has not been that good. Now that Big Ben's gone, I think we can say it, he was kind of at the back end of his career. Not kind of, he was borderline washed. Like, it wasn't good. So I do not believe that Mike Tomlin should be on the hot seat at all. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think he should be? Y for yes or N for no? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video, by the way. So if the ad break happens to come here on YouTube, well, go take advantage of it. Head down to that pinned comment and type in Y for yes or N for no. Let's talk free agency now. Interesting article from the Pittsburgh Tribune. They mentioned they got to find more outside linebacker. They named 3 players in particular. Justin Houston, Ryan Kerrigan, Alex Okafor. We'll break down each of those three guys in a second, but I do understand where the Tribune is coming from. TJ Watt's a star. I'm a big fan of Alex Highsmith, by the way. The depth, though, is murky. I like Derek Tuska. I like Jannard Avery. I think Tyree Johnson's got upside as a UDFA, but I don't think you want to bank on those guys being 3, 4, 5 on your depth chart. I think you'd feel better about 4, 5, 6, or even practice squad for Johnson in the end. So the 3 names mentioned. Let's begin with Ryan Kerrigan. There was a time back in 2018 for the beginning of his career when he was back with the Commanders, played for the Eagles last year, that Kerrigan was one of the most consistently productive and underrated players in the entire NFL. He was always getting double-digit sacks. The problem is his production has declined, as has his playing time. He is now 33 years old. He's only 4.5 sacks away from 100 in his career, but the falling off of a cliff from a production standpoint has happened. He couldn't play much for Philadelphia. I'm concerned his career is basically over. Now, more on the other two names in a moment, but first, the Pittsburgh Steelers t-shirt combo pack is still available over at Fanatics. Head over to chatsports.com/PIT combo. That's Pit combo. $30 for both of those two t-shirts. You have a tough time finding any officially licensed gear for $30 individually. To get them both for that deal is incredible. These deals do not last long. They go quick. You might even see some sizes starting to thin out in terms of availability. So don't delay. Go get yours today. chatsports.com/Pit combo. The name that intrigues you the most on this list is Justin Houston. He is 33 years old. His production has not dipped nearly as much as Kerrigan, although I do wonder just how much time exactly he has left in his NFL career. I think it's maybe 1 or 2 years. What is unique about the Houston situation is that he was given the unrestricted free agent tender back in May. You have probably no idea what that means. It's used maybe once every 2 to 3 years, if that was used on Houston. What it means is this. If he signs with a team, he does impact the comp pick formula. Otherwise, if he's unsigned by camp, he reverts back to the Ravens at a slightly higher salary. So if the Steelers were to sign him, he would have to sign, in reality, with what he would make for the Ravens, he would sign for a comp pick qualifying contract, and that would potentially give the Ravens an extra draft pick. Does it matter that much? No, if you think Houston's going to help you, but it is something to at least monitor and consider. The third name on the list was Alex Okafor, and no, I don't. He's like 2019 was one of his better years ever. So I get those are three veteran names who are available, who are cheap, who could probably do the edge 3 role, I suppose, but it's not like they're, there's a reason they're all unsigned here as we almost hit July. So of the three, who intrigues you the most? I actually rank them in this order. JH, RK, AO, but I want to hear from you guys. Pick an edge for me right now in the comments section. Pat Freiermuth Breakout Season, that is spelled SZN, by the way. Bleacher Report named one breakout player for each NFL team. They picked Pat Freiermuth, and I totally agree with that. He played very well as the season went on back in 2021. When Eric Ebron was finally, shut down, basically, and ended, Freiermuth was clearly the better player. Here's what Bleacher Report wrote. Quote, he will likely log more snaps after earning just 683 last year. The 23-year-old statistics and playing time will see a bump after Pittsburgh elected to not retain Eric Ebron in free agency. Freiermuth worked largely as a safety valve for Big Ben Roethlisberger during the quarterback's final season. The offensive line barely gave the QB time to get the ball out, so Freiermuth averaged 8.3 yards per reception. Not too much to argue there from Bleacher Report's standpoint. Some more coming up on Freiermuth, the pro and con here. But will he break out in 2022? That's the question I have for you guys. So head down to the comments section and let me know. Type in A for yes or B for no. Freiermuth's numbers, yards-wise, are pretty uninspiring. 60 grabs for 497 yards. That's not great. You're hoping for a better average. He was used as the safety valve. I think we all remember the Big Ben's strange love affair with the 2-yard throw on 3rd and 12. It's a little too often I ended up finding Freiermuth, but whatever. 7 touchdowns. He is a great red zone threat, and I think whether it's Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky, the volume and opportunities and quality of those opportunities will go up this year. The number one thing working against Freiermuth is the other mouths to feed at wide receiver. Deontay Johnson is going to get his. Chase Claypool's almost a big tight end, or I guess say a skinny tight end is a kind of, I think he'll play a kind of a slot receiver hybrid role. He's played outside, inside of his career, but he's on to me as a slot guy. George Pickens, well, he could have breakout years of vertical threat, and Najee Harris is going to get the ball as well. So I expect good things from Freiermuth. I'm also not expecting him to suddenly be George Kittle, Travis Kelce in year 2, but I do love the arc he's currently on as a key member of the Steelers offense moving forward.